Don't get me started. Come on.
Yes. Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of the Low Show podcast. Wow. This is super exciting for me. If this is the first time you and I are meeting each other, hey, I'm Lo. I am a radio personality in Portland, Oregon, and I've been wanting to start my own solo podcast for a very long time. I've done a couple podcasts in the past with co-hosts, and they've been super fun. But I don't know, like having your own thing and being able to, come up with your own content and having guest speakers in and doing all that fun stuff is something I've really wanted to do. And setting up my guest room as a home studio and podcast studio has been something that's been on my bucket list for a while too. So I'm very excited to be here with you guys and to kick this off. We're going to be publishing episodes every Wednesday. It's funny because I almost didn't put this on video because I feel like a lot of us are struggling with the quarantine situation that everyone is in right now, which we're going to get to. It's so crazy. What a time to be alive. So I was like, man, like my bangs are weird and like, my nails aren't done and I haven't showered in a couple days, but screw it. We're here and we're doing it. And, originally when I wanted to put this out, I wanted to do it with the utmost quality. So yeah, we're going to put this on video and we're going to struggle together, okay? Because I know a few of you watching right now, your bangs look like mine. So it's good. Just know though, once all of this quarantine is up, I'm taking an entire day to go and get my hair done, nails done, eyebrows, spray tan. I might even do eyelash extensions. I don't know, but it's definitely going to be a thing, and I'm sure you can agree. Just a little bit about me, if this is the first time you and I are interacting. I was born and raised in Florida. I'm a Florida girl. Love it down there. 561 Delray Beach, where are my peeps at. I miss it a lot, and, being here in Portland has been absolutely amazing, and I've made so many amazing memories and I've learned so much, but I definitely want to get back to Florida, or at least the Southeast. I started my radio career in Tampa, Florida at WFLZ, and I've been doing radio now for almost 8 years, which is so crazy. Started out as an intern for the Rat and Puff show and have worked my way up to being the music director of a hip hop station here in Portland, We 102.9, along with, midday duties on that station, as well as the number one night show on Live 95.5. I had to throw that out there. No, it's been really fun though. I've actually been in Portland now 4 years. I celebrated my 4-year anniversary in Portland this Monday. It's funny because I got here on 4/20. Total coincidence. Marijuana is obviously legal in the state of Oregon, and that trip itself was so fun. My dad and I took a road trip across country. I was in Morgantown, West Virginia at the time, and my dad and I just traveled. I don't think we crossed like 9 state lines together. He had crossed, I think, like 4 or 5 getting to me in West Virginia. But yeah, we got to Portland on 4/20, and I looked at my dad and I was like, we need to let off a little steam here. So sure enough, we went to a dispensary, walked right in, and bought a J. I smoked a J with my dad, which was so crazy. This was a long time ago. And yeah, the rest is history. But like I was saying before, Portland's been so fun. I met my boyfriend out here 3 years ago. We've been going strong ever since. My sister, Natalie, who will be a guest, I'm very sure, a few times here on the podcast. She moved out here almost 2 years ago now, which is so crazy to think. I think her Portland anniversary is coming up in June. So I literally have everything except for my mom and dad out here, which they need to visit because, Dad, you haven't been out here since you moved me here. And Mom, I think it's been almost 3 years since you've been in Portland. But yeah, I got a dog. His name is Stanley. He'll be making some appearances as well. But life is good, guys. And again, this has been a dream of mine to do. I feel like, being a radio host, you have to censor yourself quite a bit, which is fine. Like, that's the gig you signed up for. But with the podcast world, it's like the wild, wild west. And we can touch on things that you can't necessarily touch on maybe on local radio, or maybe you can, but you just don't have enough time to do it. We can talk for 30 minutes at a time here nonstop and, not have to worry about PPM. And, I'm not going to get into all of the boring radio terms. If you're a radio host watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But no, this is a really fun opportunity for me to kind of, get myself out there, put myself out there, meet new people in this industry, and talk about things that, all of us are going through right now, and what it's like to kind of navigate life as a female, in the Pacific Northwest or just in the world in your late 20s. I mean, there's things that I'm starting to think about and worry about and sometimes judge myself on because I'm getting to that 30 mark. And I just want to, extend the invite to have that conversation with other people that are going through it or have gone through it. I do want to talk about the quarantine situation. So, wow. It's been a month now, officially a month that I've been working from home entirely. I want to say, at least in the state of Oregon, the governor did the stay-at-home order. I want to say like the first or second week of March, because I remember she kind of set that order, and then St. Patty's Day was like up in the air. Like, are we having it? Are we not having it? Bars and restaurants were supposed to be closed, but certain restaurants and bars were like, well, it's St. Patrick's Day, we want to be open. And then she kind of just was like, no, everything's shut down, no gatherings of more than 10 people. So we've been, trying to navigate through that and kind of get used to this new normal of life that we're going through, especially being, at least for me, a human being that's very outgoing and craves, social interaction and finds any reason to go to a happy hour just to kind of be around the noise, if that makes sense. Before I got into radio, I was a bartender, a server, and I loved it because you literally met new people every day. And then those new people that you did meet, they would come back in because they enjoyed that interaction with you. And then those people would become your regulars. And sometimes those relationships even turn into friendships. Like having to kind of hunker down at home for the past month has been challenging for me, for sure. But I've kind of found, some calm in the chaos. There's things that I've done and have been doing, like this podcast, for example, that I've just been kind of pushing aside because, I gotta go to work, or literally physically go to work. I gotta do these chores, I gotta do this, that, and the other. And then it's like, okay, when are you gonna have a moment to just sit down and relax? So I've actually, I feel like I've been handling the stay-at-home order and the quarantine pretty well. But I know a lot of people, and people that I'm very close with and work closely with, that have been struggling with it. And probably because, they live at home by themselves, or, sometimes that energy that you need from one another, it bounces off. You know what I'm saying? Like, being at the radio station, for example, like, there's so many different personalities and so many different people. And, like, you look forward to going in because okay, this person's got this type of energy. I can bounce ideas off of them. Or I just know if I'm in a funk, I can just kind of get around this person and, like, they're going to make me feel better. It's a good time to say, hey, I love you. Hey, I hope you're doing okay. And just, check in with people that you care about, even friends that you haven't talked to in a while. Like, catch up, get on FaceTime or Zoom. Everybody's using that new app now. But I put a list together, if you're struggling right now, of 5 things that you can do while in quarantine to kind of get your mind off of loneliness or whatever it is. 1, you can totally pamper yourself. Hop on Sephora, Ulta, Amazon. You could even do, like, DIY bath salts. My boyfriend's probably going to kill me for saying this, but he has literally been taking baths every day since in quarantine. I haven't seen so many Dr. Teal's bath salt bags and bubble bath in my bathroom in a really long time. And literally, like, 11 o'clock on the dot every day, he'll come up, he'll bring the dog into the studio and say, can you watch the kid for a little bit because I'm going to take my bath now. So do that. He also ordered, like, a foot spa. Like, this kid is, like, on a whole new level of, like, self-care, which I think is so great. But yeah, you can pamper yourself, make homemade face masks, or just buy some online and do it, like, once a week. Say, okay, Sundays or Mondays are going to be dedicated to me making sure I'm taking care of my skin, or doing, a little at-home pedicure, bubble baths, whatever it is. That's something you can totally do to help pass the time, and it helps you as well. You can organize and clean. That's a fun one. I haven't really been doing this, I'm going to be honest. This is, like, the last thing on my bucket list to do while in quarantine. But it's definitely needed. And I feel like once you get into that mode, then it's just, like, on and poppin', Like, as soon as you're like, okay, I'm going to wake up at 9 a.m. and I'm going to just tackle this corner of the house, or this cabinet, or, the kitchen, or whatever. Like, set your goals small so you reach them. And then if you feel like you can keep going, then keep going. Start a new hobby. Hello. Podcasting is something that I've been wanting to do, so obviously I'm starting that. I found these really cool DIY paint sip at home kits on Instagram. We're definitely going to talk about those once we get them in the mail on another podcast. But it's really cool because they had, like, public figures like Obama. We got a Drake and Sade painting, so Matt and I are going to do it one weekend together. They have, like, Aaliyah ones, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Marilyn Monroe. I mean, and it's all paint by number, so you don't have to be like Picasso. Like, it literally tells you where to put each color of the paint, and I'm really excited. It's not coming until May 15th, but once it's here, we're doing it. It's going to be fun. I also started golfing, you guys, and I never in a million years thought that would be something that I would enjoy doing and actually want to do, but I like it. I bought myself a set of golf clubs a couple weeks ago, and Matt and I have been going out and playing 9 here, 18 there. That's one thing that I'm really surprised is still open with all of this stay-at-home order stuff, but, like, honestly, it follows the CDC guidelines, and Matt and I share a cart. We wipe it down. We stay 6 feet away from the people that we're golfing with, if we're even golfing with anybody else but ourselves. And, you still get some, physical activity in. You're outside. You're staying 6 feet away from everyone. So it's actually been really nice. You can perfect your makeup skills. The cat eye is something that's very hard to do. And if I can give you any tips on the cat eye, get yourself some makeup wipes, okay? Do your eye makeup first before you put on your foundation. Do the wing. if it turns out funky, you can always take the makeup wipes and create a perfect straight line, even on both sides, and you're good to go. And this one's a little tough, but I think it's necessary. Sit with yourself, you know? Take this time alone to really be alone and dive deep in there. And if there's things that aren't sitting well with you mentally or internally or emotionally, try and figure out what the root of that is, and, you know, come up with some scenarios or some situations where you can maybe work on that and fix it. I feel like another reason why a lot of people aren't doing well with this quarantine and stay-at-home order is because, you know, they can't sit with themselves or sit by themselves, if that makes sense. Because when you're alone, you're forced to really, you know, be you. And I feel like some people, there are different versions of themselves when they're not by themselves, if that makes sense. So, yeah, if you really want to improve while we're, you know, dealing with all of this, just kind of work on deep-rooted issues that you have. And if you're sitting here listening or watching and saying, oh, I'm good, I don't have deep-rooted issues, you're lying to yourself. Everybody has something. So work on it bit by bit, and come out of this quarantine as a better person, having learned something new about yourself or just learned something new in general. I'm going to keep it short and sweet this time. I'm very, very excited about this new project. I'm really grateful for you guys for watching and listening. You can follow the Instagram at Low Show Podcast. We're going to get this up on iTunes soon, Spotify, Google Play, pretty much anywhere where you can hear podcasts. Also, obviously, we're recording on video as well, so you could check it out at Low Show Podcast on YouTube. I'll drop the link too on the Instagram, so follow again Low Show Podcast on Insta. And you can follow my personal page too at It's Low Radio. I'll drop that for you as well. And old friends, new friends, soon to be new friends. I'm very, very excited. Thank you so much for watching, so much for listening, and I will catch you guys next Wednesday.